Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back once again to another video. Today we're going to be diving in and taking a look at Realm Divided Culture Expansion. This is a brand newish mod that adds in 2 brand new cultures to the game, expands the map, adds existing detail to the map, cuts up the pre-existing factions to make them a little bit more interesting so you're not just got these big empires scattered around, adds in new troop trees, whilst still staying pretty vanilla friendly. This mod doesn't add in any massive expansions to units or requires 50 other mods to actually install. It's just a simple, nice vanilla plus overhaul mod that is really easy to install, which I know for a lot of people is a big plus because, you know, some people just can't get the hang of these huge mod lists. So a mod like this is perfect for you if you're just looking to spice up your next Bannerlord game with something nice and simple and maybe add a few other mods around that. Okay, so we'll start off by taking a look at the first brand new cultures and then we'll take a look and dive into the actual campaign. So the Vashi are a kind of Azerai / Kuzite faction. They're situated in the bottom right of the campaign map, which has been expanded out with this mod, which is pretty cool. Again, they have some very unique units, which we'll take a look at. And then we also have the Geroian, something along them lines. And this faction is situated in the bottom left of the map. So the modder has gone in and expanded them 2 sections, which honestly does give you a lot of space. Obviously, we also have the northern parts of the map as well, which could quite easily be expanded if this modder wants to add in a 3rd culture. That is going to be something that they can definitely do. I very much do love these images as well. They're very cool, very different as well. Obviously, you have the normal Azerai stuff, so this faction is kind of very Azerai-esque, and I love this. The modder's done a great job with designing these. Really cool stuff, actually. And here we are on the campaign map right here. So if we zoom out and just take a quick glimpse of where the everything is, as you guys can see, the map has been expanded out here, and obviously over here is where the other faction is. So here is one of them right there. You guys again can see the detail that's been added in. So all of these castles have been customly placed across the map with more detail being added, and it looks really cool. I like this kind of luscious greenness down here. It's just like very foresty and obviously very contrasting to the desert over here into the east, and we're pretty far down as well, which is cool that all this detail has been added in. And it's not like this faction is severely overpowered, like with 50 settlements and castles. Like, it's very balanced with everything else around them. So if we take a look at the faction itself, you can see that everyone is custom. So there's all custom lords in the faction itself. All the clans have been custom made as well, which is cool. So again, all of these are individual new characters that have been implemented, and it's a cool looking character as well. If we go take a look at their troop tree, which we'll make our way in right here, the modder has made it kind of very clear that they don't want to implement like open source armory or these other huge mods. This is a very simple, clean install. You can, if you want to, add a couple more mods to it, which the modder suggests, and has added compatibility patches. I believe it also has a Banner Kings compatibility patch as well. If that is a mod that you're looking to, you know, add in, it's not really then vanilla plus, then it adds in a whole wealth of things with Banner Kings. But it is there for those of you who like the look of this but want something maybe a little bit more. But yeah, the modder said they want to keep this kind of very streamlined, very simple, and I believe the overall download is like 300 megabytes as well. So even if you don't have a great internet, you're going to be able to download this relatively quick, even with Nexus mod speed. So yeah, definitely respect that this is kind of lightweight. But yeah, because of that, it does mean that a lot of the basically all the assets are going to be vanilla assets, just redesigned. But I like this. I like this unit tree. I think the modder has done a great job with these. You know, just very simple. You can see the units kind of going up. So you start off with like kind of this padded stuff, and this faction is kind of like a mix, a hybrid between, I guess, like the Azerai, the Empire, and kind of a bit of influence with the Valandians as well. Like these archers, you know, this is kind of very Valandian-esque, so it's kind of very medieval in that. The cavalry is kind of like a mix between the Azerai Valandia right there, which again looks cool. And then the infantry, they have the Pavine shield, which is definitely a shield, but we don't see used on infantry enough, actually. Looking really cool, actually. Yeah, again, like they look good. They look good. They have that spear, and then you have some 2-handed billmen. So it's kind of, as I said, like a mix between like the Empire, Valandia, and the Azerai, but the unit tree looks great. And then if we come down to their infantry, again, we do just have the Doge's Guard right here, which again looks really cool. So it's just a heavy infantry unit. And I feel like we don't get enough like noble heavy infantry units. A lot of the time it's just all heavy cavalry, but I'm trying to think of any heavy infantry actually. Like even the Sturgeon's noble unit is heavy cavalry or skirmisher cavalry, I guess. So it's actually cool to have kind of this, and I feel like it's something that's not utilized enough, like this elite infantry, javelins, shields, and a very, very good mace as well, which you're going to be able to get stuck into. And even like the base tiers as well, like getting them javelins, getting them spears is cool, and the unit looks very nice as well. Another very, very interesting thing about this faction as well is that you can't actually come in from these northern parts of the map. They are completely secluded, and there isn't any naval travel at all either in the mod. So again, if you want to invade, you're not going to be able to come in here from the north, and I believe some of the only entrances is because again you have this mountain range here as well, so it's like Empire is very secluded. I believe the only way out of this kingdom is this mountain pass right here, which I think is a really cool design. It's like, you know, this is like a lost civilization almost, and yeah, it's like if you guys want to invade, it's going to be hard to come in and try and start taking these castles, and it's going to give you a very nice place to defend, push out, and even fall back to if worse comes to worse. So that's going to be the first faction. Really, really cool. I like them a lot. Then we make our way over to the other faction, which is positioned out here, and as you guys can see, the modder has expanded out all of this extra territory. Everything with this flag, you guys can see, has been fully expanded out on, and just more castles added, which is very nice. If we take a look at their unit roster, you're going to see these guys are kind of a mix, I guess, between the Azerite and the Kuzites. So they're going to have a infantry line that kind of breaks off into an archer line, and they have some pretty decent archers. These guys have 168 bow skill. It's a very specific bow skill, but I guess that's what the modder wanted for them. You know, very decent swords, some decent bows, a step recurve bow. So obviously having that access to the Kuzite bow is going to be very, very deadly. Their infantry, again, just veteran kind of mix again. Azerite, Kuzite armor, going to be decent spears. But, you know, for the most part, I imagine their horse archers are going to be absolutely brutal. Only 140 bow skill, which isn't crazy. And again, 132 riding seems a bit random. But still, you know, this unit's still going to be an absolute menace on the battlefield. Being equipped like the Azerite also have very good horse archers, so mixing them with the Kuzites is going to provide, hopefully, a lot of damage indeed. And then they also have some really, really cool infantry. I imagine this faction is very much inspired by more of a like Persian kind of feel to them, I guess, with this unit being called the Immortals. But yeah, these dudes look dope. I love the helmet on them. It looks absolutely incredible. And yeah, the mixes with the capes and stuff, this unit is going to be an absolute menace on the battlefield. If we switch over to the elite line, again, I really love this elite line. I think they've done a good job. Not only is this one-arm vanilla armor really beautiful on them and kind of fits the Persian theme very nicely, we then break off into this elite cavalry. Yeah, this cavalry is going to be incredible on the battlefield. Several variants to them. I think this one looks very, very awesome, very like regal, and the mix of the Kuzite and the Azerite armor goes great. I love the golden horse armor as well. But then they also have access to camels as well. If they want to utilize that more impact damage when it comes to the cavalry, you definitely can. Yeah, the camels add that nice little bit of extra flavor to them. Be the two brand new cultures. They're the ones with the new units, the new factions, etc. As I said, this is probably my favorite one just because of that, like a single mountain pass in is very cool. However, other stuff has been added to the campaign map and more castles have also been implemented. As you guys can see right here, the Azerite, there is a bridge, kind of reminds me of like the Alexander one in the Middle East where he built the bridge over to the castle. Very, very cool indeed. So you can see the stuff like that. I believe this island as well also has a bridge design to it as well to inhabit this for the Empire, which is very cool. And there's a few more of these castles kind of put around the campaign map. You can also see the banners have also been changed as well across the board. As I mentioned earlier, this like northern continent would be great for a brand new faction as well. Okay, northern continent, this northern part of the map is completely wide open for another faction to be added, or maybe two factions to be added of different cultures. So definitely something they could look to implement. Then the modder has also split up the pre-existing factions as well. Outside of the Empire didn't actually get touched. But if we go over to Valandia, you can see banners have been changed, which I really love. I like the unique take on a lot of the banners, and obviously on the campaign. I don't think either of these guys have different unit trees whatsoever, so that you know, both of Valandia unit trees are still going to be exactly the same. But they have split these factions up into two competing ones, and again, I like that. I like the more diversity, that we don't just have these united kingdoms. Also provides more combat, and you see differences every time you play a new campaign, which is cool. So you have that Southern Empire, and then you also have this Northern Valandian Empire right here, and I believe all the lords are very much similar, but there have been some new ones added in as well to take a look at, and obviously new clans as well inside of this, because they've, of course, taken clans out to put in a different kingdom. So new ones have been implemented, and as I said, I really love these banners. They've done a great job with these banners, and obviously giving new faction leaders with new armors and stuff is always very important. But yeah, Valandia is split into two. We also have Britannia being split in half as well. We also have the Sturgeon split in half. The Kuzites have been, and the Kuzites I think are one of the more interesting ones to be split, because you have the main Kuzite faction here, and then they're kind of almost like surrounded. Yeah, they're almost like surrounded by the other Kuzite faction right here in the more of the kind of purpley setup right here. And I feel like this castle was also custom implementation. I don't remember this castle being here, but maybe I am mistaken. But yeah, that is going to be about it for the video. As I mentioned, this is a really, really cool lighter weight mod, which I'm very impressed with the amount that's in for just how little this mod actually is in size. I think the mod has done a great job with the two new cultures. Sometimes the cultures on mods can just feel a little like thrown together, but I definitely think the modder has done a really, really good job of them, and I think either of them will be very interesting to actually play, mess around with, and see what they're all about. I'm a big fan of the map expansion. They don't feel too overwhelming. The extra islands are really, really cool to be implemented, and yeah, I just wanted to show off this mod because yeah, it's a really cool lightweight mod. It has some bigger expansion if you're looking for something, if you're more of a veteran modder and you want to maybe use something like Banner Kings. As I mentioned, there is a Banner Kings compatibility patch with it, so again, you can implement that, add that in, and again, have an absolute blast. But be sure to let me know what you guys thought of this mod down below in the comments. Obviously, subscribe for more if you want to see maybe some more videos on this mod where we mess around with the new factions. Do be sure to let me know as well. I'll leave a link to this mod down below in the description. Definitely go check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.